But peace and love, y'all. It's your brother Avis, and we are here, and we're back with another segment of more interviews, aka memoirs of our real experiences. And man, we back at it. Can't complain, can't say much. I'm just grateful for then the opportunity to continue to interview folks, future, present, past, all of the things. And we're here again with another more interviews, this time with a brother I've known for a pretty long time. We used to go to school together. But shouts out to my brother G93. We're going to be in here talking about this brother, what he does. That's said and done. So with that, we are going to be waiting and getting ready before once the brother comes in. But once he comes in, y'all, you guys more than welcome to, again, ask questions, get involved, comments, many different things when the brother comes in. But let me make sure that we're all set and we're good to go real quick. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead real quick. Let's drop it all up in here. Shouts out. I see y'all in here. Maya, I see you up in here. Santi, I see you up in here. So let me send it to the brother. So after that, we'll pop up on here and we'll be good to go. But again, during this interview, if y'all have any questions for the brother, please feel free to ask the questions. I have my own set here, but that's basically what this is all about. We're in here to get these questions going. And speaking of the man himself, the mogul, who does multiple different things, and he's here to share that with y'all today for more interviews. I got the brother G93 in the building. We're going to get this pushing and going. Yo,
Good.
what's good, my G?
How you doing?
Man, I can't complain, man. I'm grateful. I'm here, man, and it's been a cool minute. That's all I ended up saying, man.
Yeah, man, it's good to see you doing your thing too, and then keeping the interviews going and the conversation moving.
Oh yeah, you got to, man. It's not just about me, man. It's about the community at the whole, man.
Yeah,
Everybody got their parts.
yeah,
So this is me, and
yeah.
this is
Hey,
us.
let's get it.
That's what I'm talking about, my brother. Before we do get started, is there any questions, comments, concerns that you want to share, as well as anything you want to plug before we get started with the interview?
Man, nah, I do all the plugging in near the end.
All right.
Yep.
Sound good. Sound good. Right. And if y'all don't know, again, this brother, his name is G93. You can go check this brother out. He got Cali exclusive. He got G93 where he's doing a multitude of stuff. I know he said he gonna plug his stuff
Yeah.
later, but I'm still gonna do it up front for y'all so
Yep.
y'all just know. Um, yeah, and once we get into it, my man, shoot, how are you actually doing today, my man?
Man, I'm doing good. Woke up early at 6 o'clock this morning, did my exercise, called my team in, and then chopped it up with them, see what they had going on today, and
Yeah.
then moving forward with it throughout the day to get over here for this interview on time.
Okay. I'm with it. I'm with it. Man, it sounds like I like the regimen because I've been doing the same thing, trying to work out earlier on so I can get my day set off straight in the right mindset too.
Yep.
So I'm with you on that.
Yeah, got
But
to.
that's what I'm talking about. And again, y'all, as y'all are coming in, if y'all have any questions for the brother, please feel free. This is a live interactive interview. So, man, all questions is appreciated. Of course, if we see some randoms, of course, we going flag. But at the end of the day, if y'all interested after it's done, please follow the brother, check him out, get some content done, and a number of things. Right. For those who do not know you, my man, and this is their first time being, again, introduced to you, tell us a bit about yourself and your background.
All right. So my name is Greg, go by G93. Born and raised Gardena, California. Most of my life pretty much spent out there. And then about '07, moved out to Lancaster. And then that's where I kind of, got away from the city, wanted to go back. Like, yo, I want to be around my people I grew up with and things like that. But just as time went on out there, I just started seeing a broader, world open up to me as well too. And then that allowed me to create the idea of Cali exclusive out there. And then that's where I kind of got more so into the merchandise. And I first started with just I was playing games. I was a heavy gamer, gaming on SOCOM. SOCOM 2 was it. SOCOM 3 combined assault. I was in the top 5.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was my thing back then. And then it was just like, hey, 18. It's time to get older. Time to put these games up. And if we want to move forward as just being friends or just being growing up to
Yeah.
become better, we got to focus on a bigger picture of how we can all participate in the vision that makes sense short term and long term.
Yeah.
So that was the thing with just getting started. So first off, got an as seen on TV screen printer. It was the U-Do, and then I actually got it off of Craigslist. Ended up trading my PS3 for the as seen on TV
Oh,
printer, and it turned out to be like one of my ex-girlfriend's uncles and shit. So it's like
what?
it was crazy how it worked out, but I didn't know it at the time until after, and I look back. I'm like, this is crazy. So I got that. Started printing out the first shirts out there for the last for the first 5 years. It was hand printing everything. Shit, I had like 5 shirts I was rotating, but hey, you got to stay in the brand if you believe it.
Yes.
That's one of the things for sure that I've noticed is, over time, things do hold weight as long as they continuous and just making progress. And, people judge progress by different scales, but if you know what's going on, you know what progress looks like. And I think that it allowed me with just starting with hands-on, allowed me to just diversify myself personally
Yeah.
to grow and see other perspectives. Like with picking up the camera, allowed me to meet with different types of people, have different types of conversations, asking real world, questions and things like this. Because hey, if we're gonna connect, we could create some content, we create some brands. But we 18, 19, I'm still trying to figure the word out. You feel me?
Yes.
So that allowed me to get a different perspective on how everybody's thinking, what do people want from this, what do people want to create themselves, and put myself in position to be able to help those people. Because just seeing off how we started, it was just, no help. I had to do everything myself, from the printing to the shooting to the networking to do the promo. But that's all the jobs you're going to have to do if you want to start off yourself. You
Yeah.
have to learn the language of all these kind of positions to be able to know when you come across these people, hey, they trying to cheat you on prices. They trying to disrespect your quality of work or just disrespect your level of work that you actually put in.
Yeah.
Is, you have to be able to see that, hear it as well too. So that's what one of the things is. That's where I've come from selling the PlayStation to as seen on TV, screen printing, to picking up the camera and, creating events, and then also getting behind the music and supporting other artists throughout that journey. We'll probably get to that a little later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the beautiful thing of when I also do these interviews, the way that the questions are set up, y'all just naturally start to already hop into some of
Yeah.
these. So then it's just like, for me, it makes it so much easier to make the transitions as well as make a lot of the connections. Plus, I selfishly get to learn a lot more of y'all through
Yep.
this. So, man. But speaking of that, since we're still kind of getting a bit of the backgrounds and, learning more about you, let's take it, some steps back
Yeah.
to like the youngest inception. So if someone were to know and learn and ask, who was G93 as a child growing up?
Man, G93 as a child growing up, you know it, man. We was questioning it all. That's one thing for sure, is just like question it all. And then, grew up went to a Catholic school. Um, and then, just certain things that I seen or just hear is just like, hey, I want to ask a question about this. And it's just, certain reactions that people give and things like that. It kind of threw me off, where it's like, hey, I'm asking, hey, does the color matter? You telling me, hey, the color doesn't matter. You yelling at me, hey, I thought this was a house of God. Why is everybody yelling? So it's like,
Yeah.
with that, I was definitely questioning everything. And I think that led me to just where I'm at now, is
Mm-hmm.
being able to question myself as well too. What are my abilities? What can I get better at? What do I actually need to learn to become better?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I think like the question input that as well too, and also being able to motivate or inspire people as well too, to do, whether that's young stuff he was playing around, doing pranks and things like that. But as I got older, I was seeing and I started realizing the power that I had as being young and just attention grabber. So
Yeah.
it was like what I seen just growing up, and then from being little, was how do you use that attention to funnel it not just for yourself
Mm-hmm.
gain, but just to be able to put and create a community and an atmosphere for people to be able to see and question their own self, and they
Yes.
also their beliefs of that the possibilities that they can do the work too. That's
Yes.
really what it is. It's like, creating the resources, batching them together. And hey, you say you want to come in as an artist. You said you want to come in as a model. Said you want to come in as a painter. We can, we can distribute it. We can do the photos, and we can get it really going as far as telling your story and document it through the process. So the last 10 years of what I've been doing, all on video. You know what I'm saying? All on video, no dates missed, and just building relationships and content for the future. We're gonna make a documentary.
I'm with. Oh,
So
that's fire. That's what I'm talking about. And
yeah,
thank you for sharing that. And a lot of the words that I'm already hearing starting off is not necessarily what you can do for your own gain, but for the gain of others.
yeah,
And I'm hearing a lot of those pieces of, because of all of that questioning and just looking not only within, but out to figure out these questions or answers to the questions, you start to keep funneling more into how do I apply my skill sets to all of that too.
yeah.
And trying to apply all those stuff to your skill sets. What pushed you really into creating your own business besides the questioning things and such? Like, what was that day that that aha moment? I was like, yo, okay, I need to start rocking my own brand. I need to start creating for myself, becoming my own boss. Like, when
Yeah.
was that?
Okay, so I would say the conversation started around, just inception in my mind, 2011, late 2011, early 2012. But the first thing that I told myself in this whole beginning of this, I said, look, let's be real. The idea that you want that is this big and how you want to do it, now what you want to have access to and what you want to be able to learn and
Yeah.
obtain simultaneously is going to take some time. That's the reality of it, regardless.
Mm.
So the main thing I told myself was, if it's any good, somebody will try to take it from me. If it's any good, I'll be in this shit for 10 years to study it and master it and be able to understand, a personal perspective, a business perspective,
Yeah.
and a right, a metaphysical perspective as well too, with the idea that, the conversations that you have with people along the way as they grow, everybody creates their own timeline. And you see these timelines start to develop simultaneously. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where it's like, okay, well, what did it actually take for that timeline to develop, or what was actually lacking for that timeline not to develop, like that person said?
Yes.
It's the actual work. It's the actual work and the mentality that you actually believe that it is your reality
Yes.
already. So it's like the time thing of what people think time exists in the sense of, oh, I have to do it before then, I have to do it before then. They usually compete with somebody. And that's
Mm.
the problem. Like it's the outside competition or the words that people get marketed and things like that, to where they jump faster. They make them jump faster on things to they may not necessarily want to do, or just they'll cut them off early
Okay.
before they need to go. And hey, this is the level where you understand that you need to stay in this shit and take it to the next level, because it's already got to this point, and you think that you getting it to this point of this level, that it's not gonna come with no kind of work, no
Yes.
kind of lessons being learned, and wisdom being gained. So that's what the goal was for me, just to put myself in position to learn for the next 10 years. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yes.
personal relationships, family relationships, girlfriend, picking the right one, so it's like, and what does that look like over time? So it's like, it's a lot of being present,
Yes.
and then also having an idea of what the future entails with those present moments. So yeah, that's what it's at right now.
Okay. I'm with it. And again, y'all, it always starts with an idea. But like you said, and even his other monikers he has on there, keep working.
Yep.
That's really where all the stuff happens, the groundwork all the way up until you get to the top of the floor. And
Yeah.
sometimes that top of the floor might still just be only just a bit of the iceberg. There's still more to go. You never
Yeah.
know. Man, but I really do appreciate that, and I mean of you just sharing and again creating that space for yourself to be like, you know what, this is going to be the expectation, but ultimately I'm coming into this to learn
Yeah.
and to know that it's going to take again the work, and you have to put in that time, but I'm going to gain this stuff because of the fact that guess what, it's in there. Let's just go get it.
Yep. And then simultaneously, I think is also there's a reality that, before this all started, that I think, like, even as as younger people growing up into adulthood, or just between that 13 to 18 and growing up, is certain
Yeah.
ideas that are instilled in our head of what is cool or what is not cool, and what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
And then I think it's also realizing some of these things aren't as important as they were broadcasted or marketed to us. Once you realize how the access, or what it is it is not as hard to obtain, or just to get. So it's like it's a lot easier than what people think, or what's stressing about, or just
Yes.
manifesting things in general. It's just that you really got to sit back and think of. Hold on, let me get some water real quick.
Handle it. Handle it. He
Yeah, let
going
me get some
off.
water real quick.
And as he's doing that, go for it.
Yeah. Shit. Where is I at?
Question is, so basically you were talking about basically questioning the avenues of how first people was like, saying not really to necessarily go here or really do this thing. It's really like they were creating a boundary for you, and before you can even step out to see and try that it actually works, and there's actually work that can be done, they're already telling you like, nah, like these are the boundaries you have to stay within.
Yeah. Or once you get these access to things, this is what you should be trapped in.
Yeah.
That's where I wanted to go with it. Was certain things was marketed to as kids, young men, young women, and things like that, of what is the idea of what is cool.
Yeah.
Then it turns out you live a little bit of it for free, that is not as cool as you thought it was, and this is something that you probably do not want to do for the rest of your life. And I mean, the shit that we is marketed to as young kids to adult, that you got to be with. You got to be out here partying all day. You got to be out here drinking. You got to be spending money on shit that don't, support your ideas or your vision, or even support you as a
Yep.
person, or even somebody can call on for help. Brands that, people spending money on that they couldn't even call them. Dude wouldn't even sit down with them. So it's like you have to see how people are so into the rhythm of being told what to do, that a lot of people aren't really doing what they want to do. And sometimes you have to tell them, like, hey, it takes work to do what you really want to do. And the idea is that these are a lot easier, or this is what you should be doing. This is get you into their consumer marketing programs, where you just buying into their ideas, and then you look up, you don't know who you are.
Yes.
You done bought everything, and then it's like, what is a midlife crisis? Is a midlife crisis somebody going broke, or is it midlife crisis somebody realizing they're not who they are? So it's like the idea of what is perceived to be that somebody could be going broke, but even somebody that goes broke, they know how to make that money, they know who they are. That's not a midlife crisis. That's just an up and down in the shit.
Yeah.
And it's just like, sometimes they hit harder, or sometimes they hit less, but the people that know themselves always bounce back. And that's the difference. Is you got to understand the process in which you develop or you manifest things for yourself. And for me, it's saying it, working it, and it happens. So, and it's also just the amount of intention that is behind it. I've been very intentional for the last 10 years that I really just want to study and ask questions.
Yes. Yes.
And see, who can make it throughout the times of the trials and tribulations, and where do those, get you started at, where they stop you at, where do they sit you down at and say, hey, nah, this is the time where you do need to sit down, and this is the time where you do need to learn. Like 5 years ago, we had a separation with the brand, and it was a great time for me to go ahead and, start reading. Shit, me growing up, I wasn't the reader. So it was like just that time, it allowed me to go and read the things that I need to read, as far as who was I, looked up family history, things like that, lineage as well too. So it then brought everything full circle in the right amount of time, as far as what I was seeing growing up and what I was hearing, to what is actually, the problem of us operating in the United States. So I'm like, it's really that we don't understand. We have no knowledge of what is actually going on. We're just participating and complaining. So it's like, once you understand, it's just like they got a lot of people in a complaining state of mind versus actually proactively doing it, where it's like, you make your own hell. And that's what it is. It's somebody programming you with it, and you take that programming in, you're going to live it. And that's where you got to really think about how you actually participate in what's going on, and really think about what is going on. And that was the main thing, is like, I really cared about what is really going on versus, people don't care about what's going on. Sometimes it's just for the cool factor, and it's just like, that's not it for me. Is that's cool for a certain level, and then
Mm-hmm.
you gotta be able to elaborate and take things up. So, and I think that's where it's the conversation of knowledge and putting people in position to be able to learn more. So that's where learn more about themselves, where that's hands on in the studio. Hey, you want to be an artist this day? At least try it. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't tried it, you can't say you don't like it.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things.
Okay. All by experience. You can
Yeah,
have the knowledge for days, but it doesn't turn into wisdom until you put that knowledge into work.
yeah, facts.
Which now I'm curious before I ask about some influences. Now I'm curious to know, okay, on your search to get all of this full circleness of like your ancestry and figuring out, the true motive and plan behind stuff, what did you find if you want to share?
Eric, a lot of people are lawless.
Mm.
And is this understanding the laws from the basic level? You say, what do you mean lawless? Well, how many laws can you recite? So it was like when I got asked that question, presented that question, I'm just like, you got a point there. Because what is the conversation when you say that? So it's like you start seeing these situations play out on TV, whatnot, conversations with people's opinions and things like that. But nothing stands above the truth and the
Mm.
law truth. So it's like everybody can be entitled to their own opinion, but if you don't know the truth of the fact of the matter is that you got to know the laws of the land and be studying them consciously to be able to
Yes.
pass that down and understand that that is the key to what is going on. It's laws. And then, you know, that's where I'm like, huh, is it that simple? Yes, it can be, but it's also most people think that they got to be a lawyer to study law. All you got to do is get the books and read the same books.
Yeah.
Black Law Dictionary, fourth edition.
I think I actually, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it's like that's what I seen with that, and I'm just like, oh man. And it just opened my eyes up to what certain people was talking about and things like that. And I'm just like, oh yeah, some people just they don't even know they work on the other side, but they are for sure.
Yeah.
And that's where
Mm.
it's just like, what do you want to, and just learning, I feel like just branding yourself puts you in position of knowledge, and connections, and also to be able to ask questions differently. It's just what do you want to learn will position yourself with a brand.
Yeah.
That's where and if you look at it to where it's something that you're a part of, then you go ahead and do what you want to learn. Use that to go out there and talk to these people. Go network with these people. You want to learn about clothing. You want to learn about photography. Network with a photographer. You want to learn about investments. Try to help. How can you help an investor? Do you know photography to shoot his content? Do you know how to make merch for his next event so you can get in there and then you can, hey, you got the merch, or I'll give you a free ticket.
Yeah.
Come on, and then you ask him all the questions you want. So it's like, Eddie, what's good?
Peace. Eddie was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I would just say with that is definitely and shout out to the Prophet Double Drew Ali. Once you're done studying yourself, study yourself again. And that's what I'm on. And I think that's something everybody should look into and definitely find out your family tree, where you from, and get some more of that information because it definitely connects you to who you are. I found out I got the same birthday as my great grandpa, born 93 years later. So it's like, and then I realized what he did, and it's like, oh, okay, this is why I got the same attitude. A lot of things start making more sense once you actually start looking back in the past. Some people say leave the past in the past, but that's studying yourself in that aspect, not past,
Yes.
ideas of relationships and arguments and all that shit. All that shit is minuscule. Looking into
Mm-hmm.
the past of who you are is the most important, so that way you can, open your future up to just different things. And know, that's the whole thing, knowing. I rather know than
Yes.
not.
Man, you are speaking my language, man, because knowledge itself is definitely um essential.
Yeah,
I
and
shouldn't
that's
even
why I
say I
think
shouldn't even say essential. It is
it
required at this
it
point.
is it. It is it. It is the only thing that really matters in this realm that people don't realize to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm like, because that separates even the rich from the poor is knowledge. Now, knowledge of what is
Yeah.
what can get you, focus on this versus focus on that. But just searching for knowledge in general, and I think self knowledge is the best.
Yeah. Yes. And since we talking on that aspect, I'm just gonna throw a book out there because it popped into my head. I know you quoted Noble Drew Ali. There's a book by Naeem Akbar, and it's called Know Thyself. and it's a pretty cool read if
Okay.
y'all want to. It's Naeem Akbar. I have the book. It's Know Thyself. It's a really good read. It's pretty short. It's not long, and it's again just some more, you know, food for thought for you to
Yep.
have in that tree of knowledge that you building.
Yep.
Um, but speaking into the tree and what you building, um, who who are or who have been some of your influences when it comes to how you run your business, or at least, you know, pieces that you've gotten for here?
Damn.
If you got it, if you have, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Okay, so I would just go into that. Like I would say in the early years, maybe like first 2-3 years of just starting the brand. Like this logo behind wasn't the logo. We had like more like words and stuff.
Yeah,
And then I went to school for a little bit. I went to college for like a marketing class, and you're talking about logo branding.
yeah,
And then I'm like, damn, I need to make some shit like that. So I just left, and I just kept telling my dad I was in school, but I was really just working on this logo all day, and
mm,
working on this logo all day. So I finally got the logo, and then it was like, all right, simultaneously watching other brands like maybe like Diamond Supply, Kith, but that
okay,
was just in the idea of like streetwear. And I'm like, I'm not really into the streetwear. I'm not really the clothing dude. I'm a lifestyle brand that allows people to learn. And also, what do I like? I like to be at the beach. So that was my thing, was the beach. Go to the beach because the beach is open. It's the end.
mm,
It's the end with the most air. You can breathe. You can think. That's where I did a lot of my thinking at. So when it was just like the influence was, shit, what do I want to do? Do I want to go to the beach? Do I want to be, in the clubs promoting, or how do I want to learn about this perspective of life at this time? And I think that's where more so I went. And then I kind of cut out those influences of brands, because I was like, nah, I'm just getting too many like, mirrored ideas and stuff. And I'm just like, nah, I don't want to do that. So I just like unfollowed them and just was like, all right, I'm just gonna do photos,
yeah,
and then let the photos take me to an experience for the brand. And that took me to the beach with some
mm,
great female friends, where I got to learn a lot, ask a bunch of questions, and grow myself. Hopefully they learn something along the way too. And they got some shoes done. Some of them are world class models as well too. So it's like, with that, it was just, at the time, realized too, is nobody had the quality and the look that we had. So it was just like
yeah,
shooting that, and it being, shit, black folks at the beach. That's what it is. And it was like, shit, nobody ain't never seen this shit before. So it's like, oh, that's what's up. I fuck with this. And even with that, it was just shit. That was the life. That was my lifestyle. So I was shooting, go back, and then shit, edit, print clothes at home, print them up, bring them back down. And it was really just living and learning more. Because like I said, you got to learn about personal,
yes,
and then also about business as well too. So it's like, even when with these personal relationships and business relationships, because at the same time, you don't want to grow until you just focus business.
yeah,
Then you get to a position where shit, you ain't pay no attention to your personal and things like this, and that rubs off wrongly as you grow, or you have to get in that position to where you maybe starting a family and things like that,
yeah,
and shit, you don't know too much about that, or you ain't studied too much or looked around, so you don't really know. You don't want to be your first shot, be your last bad shot. So um, it was just studying what I was going to need to be able to go into the future as well too, and picking up those little steps along the way, and really just asking questions to everybody. Shit, you know what I'm saying? What you think about the planet? What you think about this? What you think about that? Some people, hey, I don't care about none of that shit. Hey, that's cool, but at the end of the day, we connected for a reason. So hey, why not ask questions and see what your perspective is on the world versus my perspective? Because it's some questions out here that we all need answers to. And
yep,
sometimes it just get boring talking about the last shit on TV and who's winning the game. You know, that just ain't my conversation. So I just like to talk about become better people ultimately. And sometimes some people get the short end of the stick, but hey, all it is keep working. It don't matter. It's the experience, and experience only lasts for short periods of time. If you want to think about 100 years.
yes, yeah. That is very true. And again, the way that you embody your vision and your quest for this knowledge, that's why it's brought about not only the growth, but the people, the connections, and all that you have made. And it's because of the fact that, again, you got to the work, you knew what the intentions was, you put it out there, you found the research, and it just all came to fruition for you
Hold on, just 1 second, real quick.
Go for it. And again, while he's doing that, y'all check out and peep. Again, got G93 here for more interviews. You check him out. He'll plug everything else later. But yeah, if y'all following it right now, please go ahead and check it out. G93 Worldwide. And we always going to keep it pushing like we always keep it pushing. But yeah, again, he stays busy, y'all. He stayed busy, y'all.
Yeah. G93, God is in control worldwide. You know that's in you.
Okay.
Not out you.
Look, you already look before I can even finish, like get into the next part to really ask behind the meaning of your name. You might as well continue about it. Yeah. So, what is the meaning behind your name and your business or business's name? So let's go through it.
Yeah. So G93, if you know me, my name is Greg. 93 is the year born. Also, the number breakdown is God is in control, but you got to do the work. So you got to do the work. And then also you got to keep working because God is in control. You can't forget it, so it's a reminder. Like the keep working was a physical reminder to myself when I was going through times of, just hard times of just branding, relationship, friendship, things like that. And it was just like, nah, just keep working, and it all will come back to you. Yes. It'll put you in position, bring about the truth in your life as well too. That's what I realized as well. Is the word brings out the truth. As long as you work on your idea as well too, things around you that may not feed you, or just you may not be aligned with as well too, they seem how to just weed themselves out. And it's just like once you start walking in the full truth, speaking the truth, working the truth, hey, yes, it just shakes some people up, and they start talking. They just start talking out their neck, and sometimes you can't even understand what they're talking about. So it's just like, do the work, and don't worry about people saying, naysayers of what you can't do. Oh, it looked like this, it looked like that. Everybody got their own perspective of how it can look, but if they ain't willing to help you, you know what I'm saying, without getting nothing in return, you don't need them. You know what I'm saying? I'll say in return, in the sense of believing in you, or reciprocity, and you helping each other grow. Yeah. But there has to be an understanding of the intentions at that moment once it starts, and those intentions of helping each other in the reciprocity have to stay and maintain as long as that relationship is to thrive. Yeah. Other than that, at some point that somebody has intentions that they're getting, done under or getting taken advantage of, that's when something, I'm owed this, I'm owed that, and this should have been this, it should have been that. And it's like, nah, it's not this, it's not that. You need to do your own work. That's why you're feeling this way, because you ain't did enough self-work. Because if you did self-work, the answer would tell you you shouldn't be complaining to nobody else about your own problem. It's your own fault. You got to take accountability for your shit. And that's where it's just like, once you take accountability for all the actions that you've done, it's easy. You have to take accountability for the decisions that you make, and the life that you build. And this is like as well too whether it's you thought this relationship was going to be good, but you have to focus on the mission. What is more important than you? What did you tell yourself when you first started this? The mission, or are we looking for something else that we getting distracted by while we on the mission? And that's where some people get it confused is, oh yeah, I'm on a mission. The mission led me to understand this, or got me connected with this, but this still align with the mission long term. If it don't, let it go. Because if the mission is to understand yourself and become a better person and understand more truth, and that's not what they aligning themselves up with, or even in presence, it's like you waste time. Because it just you can have a 3D relationship in the sense of everything is just goddamn TV, goddamn news, goddamn little food dates and shit like that. But if you ain't answering no real questions, it's like, come on, what are we really doing here? Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, no, we just supposed to be having fun. Like, have fun understanding yourself. But a lot of people don't have that much fun understanding themselves because they think it's boring work, because the entertainment has told you need to be going out to be actually having fun, rather than understanding. But understanding and knowing is fun.
Once you put in the work, you will come to know that. Once you do, it will. And that's where a lot of people, again, feel that it will separate them from everyone else. And it will make them feel like they're on an island, where that's where you have people when they get into situations, they feel like they're the only person in the world that's experiencing this thing.
Yeah.
But once you've actually just really sat there and actually gone through it and noticed and, felt the feelings that you felt at that moment, you'll come to find out that you're more interconnected with a lot more things than you thought. And that even though you may be going down this way, there's a reason why you're being more pulled and attracted to go down a certain ways, because it's your time, and it's up to you if you want to make it your time, because you could still just be like, all right, I'm chilling on the sidelines, just like watching all my other folks do their things, and it's not my time yet.
Yeah.
You have to make it your time.
Yeah. That part, you definitely got to make it your time, and people thinking that it's not enough space out here to everybody to make their own time. It's already existing now. It's just what are people actually choosing to do or think about when they say that somebody else is taking my space or this or that. It already exists. You already exist in the same space. Ain't nobody living in outer space and one on Earth, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm trying to come down and take your spot. Like, nah, y'all both here in the same neighborhood. It's just your mentality of what you think you should have versus the other person and things like that. It's the mentality.
Yes.
And it's like, with that as well, it's just the access to resources, but also, the conversation on a daily basis. What is the conversation? What do people actually want to know that actually makes them a better person? That's where people is like, that's what people want to, that's what I wanted to know was, what would I need to actually learn to make me a better person and to understand more of why or what is actually happening.
Yes.
It's all numbers and shit too. So it's like, once you understand it, you start seeing this shit, and it's just like, you can't, once you put the glasses on, what Dick Gregory said, once you put the glasses on, you can't take them off.
Take them off. Yep. Man, that's one of also my other favorite ancestors and scholars, man. Shouts out to Dick Gregory, as well as his son Dr. Christian Gregory too, man. Shouts out to him, man. Much love, man. Since you brought them up, the one dopest thing that I got that got to happen is, and I know it's just, again, this is all social medias and all this stuff. You never like really meet folks and all of this sort. But for folks who do start getting into meditation and getting deeper into themselves, there's a moment where I actually had a conversation within deep meditation with Dick Gregory. And the thing was extremely dope, to a point where it was either the next day or like following hours after. Tell me why the real Dick Gregory had then followed me on Instagram. It was just like, what? Like, to me, like this, it was again, all universal timing, but at the same time, it's just beautiful how, again, once you start doing that work, like you said, and you start really digging deep, and then stuff just starts to connect and lead you to all these other paths. And you just gotta be willing to be like, it's my time. Shouts out to my brother Rube. He got a song, it's called My Time. But yeah, that's why I brought it up, because it is.
Shout out Rube. Yeah.
Man, but speaking about it being your time and being able to focus and find not only your passions, but again, that building of yourself. Next question I got for you is, being an entrepreneur, I know it has its perks, but also it has its downsides. So let us know, walk us through, at least for you, how, again, when you're doing all those questions, what were some of the pros and what were some of the cons to being your own boss and figuring this all out?
Okay. I'll say some of the pros was definitely the relationships I was able to have, and also the questions I was able to ask, just different levels of people, with just having brand access or just being on the conversation of branding. 10 years ago, working with artists that are coming up as well too, and then I would say, just different locations. It put me in different places. It wasn't just like, since it was a lifestyle brand, I had to go out and actually live it. So I had to go meet people in San Francisco. I had to go meet people in San Fernando Valley. I had to go meet people in San Diego, in San Francisco as well too, in San Bernardino, the IE. So
all these sands, okay.
Yeah, and then even when a couple times out of state and things like that, having having the merch on me and things, and it's like, shit. I remember a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago, I was out in New Orleans and shit. I was out eating. Me and my boy Cletus, shout out Cletus, his agenda is out now. We was out in New Orleans, we was eating and shit at this restaurant, and we sitting down. Girl walked up to me like, "You Cali exclusive, huh?" "Yeah, I remember you out there somewhere." I'm like, "Hell no, I'm out in New Orleans, motherfuckers know me from Cali exclusive." Oh yeah, this is shit right here. So I'm like, hey, it was like those experiences that I was able to set my own, like, kind of like, not me personally, but yeah, I guess so. The work that I did set reminders as I kept working, as these things will appear to remind me, like, yeah, this shit is real.
Yeah.
Like, this shit is real. You need to, get it together, get it organized, so that way you can take it to the next level. And what does that look like for you once it's there? Shit, everybody got to be cleared out that ain't supposed to be here, and we're supposed to keep this work going.
Yeah.
And then I would say, like, some of the cons is, relationships is, you work too much, not enough time, not enough personal time, not enough thought process into that. But it's also, I would say, just family time you have to sacrifice, and also just being able to have them long nights and really believing. And sometimes it's like, man, this shit, you take loss after loss after loss after loss before you get a hit. And that's just with testing.
Yeah.
But you have to be comfortable with failing. And it's just like, that's one thing I accepted at the beginning. Was like, man, yeah, it's going to be people who be like, oh, yeah, what you doing? You should be playing in the NBA. You should be doing this and that. That's not what I want to do. That's not going to put me in position to learn what I need to learn or even question anything. Shit. So it's like, that's not, and then, I could have did that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it under my own brand. Shit, I'll sign myself. If that's what I want to do, ultimately play some sports, I'll sign myself and create my own league. So it's like, that's the ideas I have with something like that. And then I would say, like, another downside is just, late nights, early mornings. And, and then also people believing in it at a certain point. And then it's just like, hey, they fall off. But it's also what is happening at that time that the people come for.
Yeah.
Some people come for the good times. Some people come for the hard times and get from the hard times to the good times. But for me, this is a 10-year learning process. So it's going to be up and down all up in this thing. So it's like, you catch me at the good, and then hey, I'm inside for the next 6 months after, heavy promoting this way or going out. It's like, nah, we got to go study some other shit, but this work going to maintain it, just in a different location.
Yeah.
And sometimes, that's not, sometimes they don't want to be in that location. They want to be entertained all the time. And it's just like, hey, I don't got that much time to be doing all that entertainment outside of building and taking it to the next level and learning more of myself without that being like something that's bothered me or put me down or put me in the cage of my abilities to see my vision through.
Yeah.
Because even just along this way of 10 years, I've seen people lose their vision. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's the first year, second year, but they only had the third year. That was their first mistake, but they gave it all up on their first, down. They're like, damn, that was only your first down in 3 years, man.
Yeah.
You're probably going to have maybe 6 months of just downtime, and then you're going to be up for the next 20, 50 years. So it's like, some people, cut themselves short where it's those times where they need to step it up. They say, I'm going to sit back. And that's where the difference is realizing those times where it's like, yeah, sit back or step up. And it's always step up.
Yeah.
It's always step up, because if we ain't stepping up, we stepping down. So it's like, other than that, I would just say, yeah, I think that's it pretty much for like the ups and downs and shit.
Gotcha.
I can't be mad at nothing, because I accepted to learn all this, and as the truth developed, revealed itself to me, I have to accept it. What am I gonna be, a fool to not accept the truth? That's crazy. So that's one thing I kept in my mind too, is like, as long as the truth reveals it, hey, but it's also gonna be the human nature where it's like, hey, I might want to say, give somebody a second chance, and might be the second chance that this is a lesson that I already should have learned. But it's like, oh no, me trying to be a nice person at a different level. But what I realized with having the power to go back into the past is not something that you always want to do. And even if you do that, you have to know what it comes with. And that's where it's just like, hey, certain things you don't go back in the past for, even if you had the power to. So it's like, that's one thing I have to learn as well too. Is like, you can't go back in the past. The past don't exist no more. The future is only what we need, and enjoying the motherfucking present.
Ain't that nothing but the word, y'all?
Man.
On the real. Well, I appreciate you sharing that, my man. And you were just at the end going off. Hopefully, again, for folks who are watching this and will be watching this later, that you pick up on these gems and the insight. Because again, more perspectives is better than no perspectives at all.
And a lot of these and a lot of people just don't have a perspective. It's either online and the small circle that they hang out with every day that ain't really telling them about shit. And that's where it's like, some people, it's always been, people getting ridiculed for asking questions and something, or it's like, oh, that's wild, that's this. But it's like, have you even thought about anything like that?
Yeah.
Like, nah, they brain don't allow to. So it's like, sometimes you gotta be, hey, you gotta push yourself to that next level of what you really want to know. Personally, like, yeah, all this physical shit is cool, but it really don't matter. Niggas still ain't figured out how to take it with them. So you only are what you know. Just imagine if you had to roll the dice and you was born in Africa or wherever you was born. It's like, it's a roll of the dice on where you're going to be placed. But you only are who you know. But this is a perspective that, that I like to keep in my mind as well, too. There's a dude in the middle of the jungle.
Yeah.
He got maybe a wife or two. He ain't worried about shit. You drop some money over there, he going to burn it. He going to use it for fishing shit. There's a kid in the Middle East, in Iraq, that has seen the occupation of the United States in there for 10 years. He had to learn English. Ain't never killed nobody. But then you had a perspective of you're in the wealthiest country and niggas will kill you for $100 shoes. What is it?
Yeah. There's something more in the water.
It's something else going on, So it's like, even with that, it's baseline the mentality. The other dude, he got what he need. He don't need no more. $1 million ain't shit to him but firewood. $1 million to somebody else over here, that's, hey, it takes somebody's life for that shit. The dude didn't, like I said, the kid that had to grow up in a war-torn zone, he had to learn English. He didn't decide to go against it. Yeah, there's some people that did, but also, what is the mentality of on the basic level of just living and what you need to just live?
Yeah.
And
you
realize that, sometimes you just want more and more and more, and it's just like, you don't even need that much. and that's where you see it out of people. It's just like, even with what they want, some people just want things rather than knowledge. And they have no knowledge. And it's just like, more things is going to put you in a position at some point in life, whether it's at the end or it's in the middle, you're going to have to answer that question. What are you here for? What do you know? And that's one thing that people can't, that's one thing we all have in common at the end of the day. Yeah. So it's just like, if you're not studying now, I mean, shit, you definitely ain't glad to answer at the end. And that's what I realized. I said, yeah, a lot of people tell you how to live, this and that. But nobody tell you, hey, what are we supposed to do before we die? And it's like, there's not a lot of conversations about that. So I'm just like, my studying, it took me a whole bunch of different places, but it was seeing the, it was the questions that I had that also was like, hey, is anybody else asking this shit or anybody else curious about this? Yeah, some people are, some people just, that's not them.
Yeah.
But I like the people that like to talk about shit because it get me thinking.
Philosophical bombs, spiritual bombs, then all dropped on y'all. We ain't even talking about Dragon Ball Z, so I'm just letting y'all know, man. But with that being said, brother, I also like to do a portion in here where I step back from all of the target intensive questions, and I actually do a segment that I like to just call fun questions. Okay. So I got a few fun questions for you and for those out there that's still in the audience. So you're more than welcome to go ahead, put down in the comments your answers to these questions as well too, and join along because again, we appreciate y'all for coming. And if y'all have questions, please put them down there because learn more about this brother. Let the dialogue keep going because again, man, we are building and we are not only exploring the life and times of the great mogul himself right here, Mr. G93, but again, this is all a learning session, it's a building session, y'all. So for my first fun question, I always do it. I like to do it. Would you rather? Yeah. So first thing, would you rather have the power to read minds, but start every sentence with that person's first thought? So that's the first one.
Okay.
The second one is, or would you rather have the power to predict the future, but you lose hours of sleep, and it varies? So, damn. Would you rather be able to read minds, but you have to use that person's first thought as your first sentence, or predict the future, but you lose hours of sleep? But it can be 1 hour one day, but then after that, it could be 12 hours the next day. So it varies.
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say the future, the future part. Being able to see in the future. Yeah, because I feel like the other one, then knowing they thought, I know they first thought, damn, you tall. So I'll just have to say that when I was with their mind. So it's like, I already know that, you know? So it's like, that's the first thing they say, oh my God, you're so tall. Like, you know, I have to say that and then like, oh my God, that's what I was thinking. Like, but that's just a basic, you know, that's the general thing. But yeah, definitely the future. And then, you know, so I can dodge some shit. You know, other than that, just move out of the way and chill out.
Yeah. Shouts out to my sister that's up in here right now. Superb. Yeah. She said people's thoughts gotta be wild.
Yeah.
Look at what they post on social media. Exactly. That's why I put these ones with little caveats for a reason. It's not gonna be straight out, oh, if you can read minds or you can predict the future. I'm like, I'm gonna give y'all some pieces to why you like, I don't know. But yeah. Personally, for me, I would do the same thing because I'm not trying to be outrageous and say whoever's first thought that comes to mind, and that'd be my first sentence. You can end up being in a boardroom, or you can end up being at a whole big old event on the mic, and because whoever you just spoke with or got to know, that's the first sentence you're gonna start off with to address a thousands or even hundreds of people. Like, yeah. And it can end up being like, dang, that girl thick. Like, you know, or just, you know, something again, outlandish.
Yeah, you know, get off stage. You don't need that.
Like, for real. You need to leave. Like, all of that stuff going on. But okay. All right. Another one for you. And I had this one there up at the top. Okay. So in this, I'm a brand it, which is funny. I'm a brand it towards you, but I'm also gonna say to everyone else too. In this particular case, I'm gonna say to his brand, but if there's a brand that y'all like out there, I want y'all to put this down in the comments. So if you had to describe your brand as a flavor, what would it be and why?
I'll say, let's say, what, like, shit, I don't like some, you said flavor.
A flavor. So is what, again, I don't know, you can talk ice cream, you can talk candy, you can talk whatever type of flavor, barbecue, so whatever flavor to you of how you seen that. And for other people, your favorite brand that you see out there, if you had to describe that favorite brand, what flavor would you give it?
Shit. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with cinnamon toast crunch. You know what I'm saying? It's good. No, it's shiny. It's crunchy. And it's early morning thing. Okay. You know, so it's just like that's where I think. Just give me early morning vibes. It look good. It tastes good. And up in the morning.
I'm with that. See, he's getting to the work.
Yeah.
And it all works.
Yep. There it goes. And it's gonna keep working.
Too easy. You do it. It's too easy. And speaking of the funniness too, and it's gonna keep working. Give us one funny memory that still makes you smile to this day.
Oh man, shit. I would just say shit when they doubted me, you know, when they doubted me, and it's just like, hey, you see what's happening. You see we enjoying. They can't knock you off the rocker, you know. And I see like that's what makes me happy is being able to say, no, you know what I'm saying. We don't have to fuck with this. We don't have to do that because we can make our own sound mind and judgment, and we had opportunity with the resources we have to do what we want.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is being in control and not being able, you know, having my best moment is shit, not overreacting, honestly, shit.
Ooh.
Not overreacting to be under control of your emotions, because that's where people got power over you is when you react to what, you know, they try to bring about you. You know, but you got to know the game.
Standing in your frame, yes.
Standing on your square and in your frame.
You don't know. I should say you do because you've done it. But for other folks that's out there, you don't know how powerful that is, especially in times of distress, trouble, and even sometimes it can be even during peace.
Yeah.
You being able to stand on your square, you become a beacon for other people. Whether if it's you can't stop me, I'm an impenetrable, you know, fortress of you think you're gonna knock down what I'm doing. No. Or for other folks, it can be actually a place of refuge because you over here are extremely calm in your frame, other people are spazzing out, going crazy, not knowing what to do. But since they see you there, they're like, wait, what am I panicking for again?
Panicking because of lack of understanding.
Exactly. And
And
speaking
that's
of,
lack of
go ahead.
understanding of oneself.
Yes. Yes. And speaking of oneself and going around, the last one question I got for you, you're going to walk us through it. So I'm going to explain it and then just walk us through it.
Yep.
And how you would envision it. So if you had a choice to live, work, or visit 3 places around the world, and those were the only ones, which places would you choose and why? So you can choose the place to live, work, visit, and what would those 3 be?
Live, work, and visit.
Mm-hmm.
Live, work, and visit. Damn. I would say definitely shit. I don't know
Take
specifically
your
where
time.
I want to live, but I would say definitely somewhere South America by the beach. By beach in South America, that's nice, you know.
Okay.
And then work where I want to work out of. Let's see. Where would I want to work? That I ever seen? Maybe like in also like Denmark shit. Oh, Denmark. I don't know. Just like I've been seeing that shit. You know, these games and shit. They make a lot of games in Denmark. It seems like it's a little cool little town type shit. But and then you say visit.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say generally somewhere in the Middle East. I just want to see what the shit look like. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to see what it look like. See who I can talk to, and just see what I can learn from just traveling over there. Just from the perspective of what I thought, and then versus what it could be.
Yes.
You know, just new perspective, honestly, on that because shit, what I thought it was ain't what it is, and just like shit, imagine, yeah, because yeah, just to know,
That's
because you
beautiful.
know we get broadcasted certain things and shit. Maybe that work, maybe go. Nah, let me not say that one right now. Yeah, that might. Yeah. But yeah, somewhere over there, just to see how not see how it is, but just saying, see what I can learn, just even history, because I know they got a lot of deep history out there as well too.
Yes. All right. It's with it. And that has been a segment of fun questions. Hopefully y'all have found that fun because I definitely did from not only the responses, but also just from the knowledge that was also passed down. So I appreciate you for sharing in on that.
Yep.
We got a few more questions, and then after that, we'll round out, of course, this interview, and then you do your thing, plug all that you can, and I will be definitely adding and putting all that stuff here down on Instagram for other folks to check out and also peep what you got. So with coming back to the other questions we got. So we've been talking about a lot of the triumphs, a lot of the downsides, a lot of really realizing that it not only takes the knowledge of knowing yourself, but also knowing that you must put in the time and the effort and work to be able to even get to that place and ask those right questions. So I actually want to look at a time that you were met with a really big obstacle. So talk about a time where you were so close to giving up. How did you overcome that obstacle?
Shit, I would say close to time when I was possibly giving up. I would just say with the difficult times was about 2013, 2014 when I was lost my grandma, and then the year after that lost my grandfather, which I was real close with. Used to be over there like every weekend. You know, they used to have me running around in the store and stuff. You know, while they working and everything like that. It's crazy because my grandma was the first one to actually like believed in the idea and was like, "Oh, you should be, I want to buy one, so I'll put your cousins in it and stuff like that." So it was just like, I really had I need to see this through. So even when she was in the hospital the last couple of days and weeks, I had my notebook with me and I was working on it, and then even when I had to go and take care of my grandfather,
Yes,
that was the idea that kept me, sane of, just watching the just going through that process and then seeing how that can, situations like that can tear your family apart, or situations that you didn't think could happen. Family arguments and things like that. And it's just like, man, this is crazier than I thought. So and then staying mentally focused on that rather than kind of just, nah, this not it. This is the worst thing that can happen, and this is, not it. This is not something I should be continuing because I got to focus on what taking care of my grandpa and trying to go to school as well too. And then it's like playing volleyball simultaneously. So I decided to get volleyball up at a time where it's like I was having meetings. Shout out to my boy Ray. Ray Lowe, he be on the tacos and shit now, but then my OG got me speaking at West LA College to promote, to them to get a deal with the was it junior colleges to make their merchandise at the time. So it was, we got a couple samples in, but it was just something where it's like, hey, I'm not even in school. I'm about to go talk to the college board. Yeah, like, yeah, volleyball cool, but I want to go and do this brand stuff because it allowed me to learn so much more, and it even got me to the point to where I'm over here playing volleyball. So it's like,
wow.
I just have to, I have to find it myself. Like, yeah, this is really what I wanted, and it's like this is a part of the learning process. Yes, there's going to be people along the way that are on their timeline already, and even pass away, and it's like that's just life. Understanding life in general, some things just come with it, and it's just like, yes, you can sit there and sob as well too. But I remember one thing that my dad always told me when I was 8 was just like, hey, if that pass off, make sure you get my wallet because they ain't bringing that shit back. And I'm just like, man, I'm 8 years old, but it's just like the ideas that it's just the preparedness that you have to be on, like when you grow up, because it's the reality of life that it ultimately happens. And it's just sometimes, and I've seen people along this way that, somebody passes away that's close to them, they can't come back from it. They can't, and it's just like, it's sad to see, or, but I'm just thankful that I just believed in myself enough as well, too, just to, keep my head up and saying, nah, you got to keep going, keep working, and that's where it was like, that shit kind of even formed just from the beginning days of just what I was doing. And then when I had to take the break from that, it was like, all right, well, shit, let's keep working G93. God's in control. Go ahead and take this break, read some books, and you're going to become better. This is the time you need to sit down and read, And I seen that. And I was like, oh, yeah, because just the last couple of years of just, how fast-paced it's been with just working with artists and making music and things like that. It was a lot more fast-paced, and a lot more things were just activated. So it was great. It was definitely a great time for me just to sit down and realize, like, yeah, you need to learn some other shit. And that was a great time where I just studied for like 3 to 5 years. Woo. And it's a continuous thing from that, but it was conversations that I heard from when I was 18, and then I had to revisit them when I was 25, and I'm just like, that shit was making sense when I was 18. I just couldn't put the pieces together on how the perspective and all it tied into even how I grew up, the conversations I'm hearing on the street versus the books I'm reading. I'm just like, oh, damn. Yeah, you gotta study this shit.
Yeah.
Like you don't just know unless you're born into that education. But even with that, it's like you gotta stay on top of it.
There it is, y'all.
Keep working, man.
That's what's, again, thank you for sharing that and showing that, again, everybody's going through their struggle. Everyone has that baggage that they're walking around with, but you don't let it ultimately become the crutch and the weight that just ends up holding you down.
Yep.
You take that time to process, which, again, and everyone's all right to take that time to process. But once you've processed and you started to figure out what are those next steps are, execute.
Yep. Execute.
And speaking of executing things, and you've been able to tell us, now we're getting towards like the last portions of sessions of stuff. So I know you've already given a lot of us background on the beginnings to, where things has been going and where it happened stuff could be going in the future. So share with us, besides the lessons that you've already talked about, share to us some of the most notable lessons that you've learned so far while being on this journey.
Patience is number one for sure. patience and not overreacting and stepping out of character.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main priorities of this is like, not stepping out of character. Because it's gonna come with the test. And for sure you in it for 10 years of study, they gonna come at you. So it's just like once you already understand that, you just start seeing the tests as they come, and you move, you take it in. Hey, this is the test. It's supposed to test me to do this. Now I know not to react this way because this is what it's trying to get me out of my character. That's not me. Let me go ahead and walk away.
Yes.
I ain't got no time for this. And patience, emotional intelligence as well too. And just not, like I said, not overreacting. Not overreacting in situations where people try to, whether that's relationships, whether that's business relationships, people, arguing back and forth and just, hey, you this, you that. We ain't got no time for that shit. We're going to cut this shit off. We're going to keep working, and you'll keep working too. Hopefully you got your resources stacked.
Yes.
And that's where it's just like really having time and like, everything takes time to develop because you think you're in a rush. Shit, what is a rush? What does a rush look like? Somebody that ain't studied enough, you're probably rushing because you don't enjoy the process of the growth or just learning every day or making mistakes. You just thought at some point in time it was just supposed to all be perfect.
Yes.
Now ask yourself this: when you started, did you have the book that said, "Yeah, follow this plan day by day, and everything will turn out perfect"? No. So I don't know where you got that idea that that's what it was going to be. So that's where it comes down to is like people accepting the reality that, yeah, shit takes time unless you have abundant of stored resources or energy, which is money. And if you don't have money, time is it. That's what time is. Time is the stored, it's energy that gets burned. So it's like money is stored energy. So it's like even with that,
currency,
you got to learn how to use that energy to study and to move shit forward and make sure that you're growing mentally because at some point, as this shit just develops, you're going to get tested even harder. And as the world just starts bringing more truth to reality, it's going to test you even more. So you need to build your mental capacity up on just understanding what is going to happen.
Yes.
That too. And that's one thing that's too is like, hey, you don't want your brain turned into mush, so study.
That is part of the truth, if not even the whole truth when it comes to that. Yeah. So, again, having the patience, being able to, I like to also, shouts out to my folks who do study stoicism, having that temperance, so being able to stand in that square. Studying is very important. Again, study to show and approve to one thyself. If my Christian folks up out there, you study to prove. And, just really, going through those experiences in life, being able to add them all together to a point where, again, it doesn't overwhelm you, but it more so excites you.
Yep.
And it motivates and drives you. I'm with that. I'm with that, my G. Now, keep working. Yeah, you about to say it. Keep working. Like, for real.
Keep working.
Man. Now, get into the portions of now giving some more details of not only what you do, but you provide. So for the folks, tell us a bit about all the services you provide, and then I'll get to the next question after.
Sounds good. So with G93.work, that's more so blog, lifestyle updates where you see my latest collaborative work, whether that's videos, whether that's in the studio, behind the scenes, and also interviews. And then it's a resource page, so I'll offer brand packages under there, sample packages. So if you need some merch last minute, or you got an event coming up, or a future release, it's great for that. Also, studio bookings. And then so that way if you need to show a new song, play it on some big speakers, we got that. If you need some studio time, we got that. And also the quarterly packages is what we're really pushing because we know artists, the artist game is you need a video, you need studio time once per month guaranteed. And it's the consistency that turns it over. And a lot of people can't manage the consistency without the resources on hand of having a video guy, having a website guy, having to manufacture your own clothing. Shout out my boy Net Positive. He handled all the websites. He got the NSC technology and things like that to take your artist and your brand to the next level.
Yes.
So with that, it's easier for you to connect if you want to get one of those too, go ahead and check out his website, netpositive.com.
Okay.
Grant Makes Art on Instagram. And then also, like I said, we do shows as well too. So putting together showcase and event planning and the execution as well for artists, whether that's pop-up shop, vendors, and things like that. But pretty much a community of events, platforms, and opportunities for motherfuckers to grow and build their brand. And then one of the main things is yeah, BTS, because that's one of the main things that we trying to focus on is everybody's story, so that way they're able to, tell their story in the long run. So
Yeah.
like you in this game for the long term, then you gonna need that documentary footage
Yeah.
from when you were in the studio cooking up, you and your homies talking that shit. It's just a part of the story that I think everybody should be invested in. That's what we're really gonna be pushing next, is behind the scenes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with that. So to give, and I'm glad again you gave a lot of information and context around stuff. So say if we can give a more specific example, I mean, you don't have to do all the ballpark numbers if you don't need to.
Yeah.
That's for people to come in and to actually inquire to you. But so how would you create a unique package for each person? So say if we're gonna go down, since we're talking about artists, how would you
Yeah.
create like an artist package for
What's it?
them with your services?
All right. You said what would I recommend essentially?
Yeah, so basically, again, if an artist comes to you and they're like, okay, what do you provide? I might need some video done. I might need some studio done. I don't know what else. What else would I need as an artist? So what would you,
Okay.
provide for them?
Okay. So yeah, in that regards, what we've seen is like being a problem is guaranteed studio time and guaranteed content per month. That's like the two top things. If you got studio time covered, then you need content. What type of content? Music videos, reels, or interview type content, so people can know who you are, what you about, and what can they expect.
Yes.
So just starting off, we definitely want you studio time and content. And then depending on what budget you're working with, it can go from, interviews, shows, getting slots for you as well too, so that way you can perform, getting you pretty much live performance shots with a DJ and things like that. So pretty much being able to and pull in resources to be able to create the consistent content so you can keep working and promote your brand and also grow the listeners and also the fan base, because you need to diversify what you're talking about, and also you need to test certain you need to test different things as well too, so that way you'll be able to see what's working for you, because everybody is different. So that's one thing about it, is that since everybody's different, you got to be able to just test. In the beginning, you test.
Yes.
You test and experiment to see what works for you the best. But at bare minimum, you need to be making music and you need to be putting out content. That's the bare minimum. And then, having it all distributed as well too. So, but I would just leave it at that. Just content and studio time guaranteed. And we
Okay.
have those packages. We have those on a monthly basis as well too. Then we have quarterly package, which we're gonna be moving into definitely at the top of the year. Is
Okay.
3-month plans, because what we've seen as well too is we can't build the consistent repertoire or content with an artist if they stay for a month, skip a month, skip a month. It has to be non-stop. So that way it's just growth after growth. And then the artist has to ask themselves, how much are they willing to invest into their brand per month
Yeah.
to generate that guaranteed studio time, to generate that guaranteed video? How much are you willing to invest yourself? Bare minimum, you're going to have to do at least 500 a month. You got to think about studio time of video. That's just splitting it 50-50, but then it's like, what kind of video you got? But
Yeah.
if you're dealing with us, it all depends. So it's like, it depends on those results. You get better results dealing with niggas that got everything in house. So it's like, where I see that is most artists that stay in the game need a bare minimum of $300 to $500 a month that need to be invested into their craft to say that this is what they're doing. Unless they kind of drop off and then it's like, hey, they cooking their fan base some other way where they got photos and things like this, or they come some other platform. But in
Yeah.
general, you'll need content and videos, and you'll need photos in between you talking and bringing out your personality because everybody's talented. It's just going to be consistent and develop a personality over time and outwork people. And they
Yes.
would say, well, what is outwork? Well, it's like, shit, are you going to do what other people ain't willing to do? Is fail and try stuff. You know, most
Yes.
people ain't willing to try, or they think that, well, I'm just starting. I want everything to be perfect. Well, you got perfect money? No. So it's like, how can you, fathom this perfect idea where it's just like you don't even know what you're starting with? So it's like,
Yes.
that's the thing as well too that sets people back, or they never get started, or they get to the point to where they just got a whole bunch of stuff and they never put nothing out. And it's like, well, why didn't they put nothing out? Because I want it to be perfect. Well, how much money you been saving so that way one day this could be perfect? And what does that perfect number look like for you? Most
Yeah.
people can't answer it, or even at time. When is that
Yeah.
perfect time? Oh, it's me having a car, me having $5,000 in my account, me having a girlfriend for 6 months. Like, what is it? And most people can't answer it. And it's like, well, if you can't answer it, then well, shit. How we gonna get this going then? Somebody gotta have an answer. And our
Yeah.
answer is you need guaranteed video, content, and studio time so we can document the process of you behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and create the music.
All right.
Yeah.
So for you artists out there you go. There's some
Yeah.
more game to it, as well as, again, if you shopping around, man, this brother, I'm
We're
telling
gonna
you
get you
right now,
right.
for sure. And on a random note too, before the last two questions and we out, I did happen to see a little small flick because I haven't got to talk to the brother in a minute, but I saw you did a little something with Rubber Ducky Russ.
Oh
What's up with
yeah.
my G?
Yeah. So he came in last month. We got a couple singles coming out, and then I got a vlog with him as well too. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be putting that together. He came in, he was locked in with me for the month. I still got some time for him too when he ready. He could know you already know you ready to pull up and get some more content done. But yeah, I was like, hey, he was on it. He been working on his thing, man. Make sure y'all go check him out, Rubber Ducky Russ. He out there battle rapping and doing his thing, content going up, performances going up. Hey, he living his dream since when we was kids. So it's like it's good to see that. And when I see, talk to him, they're like, man, that's you been doing that shit since we was young, man. So it's like even you too. That's where I'm just like, we doing
I know. Yeah.
it.
I'm not lagging anymore. I'm have to get in over there with you
Yeah.
just to just again, either if it's chop it up.
Yep.
I may be working on some stuff, throw some stuff in there, but yeah, no, I
Yeah.
need to.
Yeah.
My car
Yeah.
works right now. So it's in
There it
good
goes.
working order.
Yeah, you
So
always welcome. Yep. Yep.
we with it. All right, we with it. All right. Next thing I got for you is, since we were talking about a lot of the components of, what the lessons and things that you have learned. Now, for you, after being so long so far into this game and still learning as you're going, what have been or what are the key pieces to creating a thriving business that you've at least come up with? What are
Okay.
those key pieces?
I'll say first you need to have the mission. What is your mission first? Is that mission that's going to last 100 years, 5 years, 10 years, however long you want to actually study? Like me, I'm in the studying process. I was a photographer. I was a designer. I was promoter. I just promoted everything just wearing these t-shirts. So it's like I'm just getting started in the sense of what I would like to do. So what I would say would be is definitely a foundation. You need a team. Like that's what I'm realizing. You need a team to do and execute and elevate to another level. If you want to make $1 million, the people next to you got to be at least making 100,000 or a million too.
Mm,
So it's like you're going to need people around you that have the expertise to be able to get it to that next level. And sometimes that doesn't happen in the beginning years because the beginning years is still a young idea.
yeah.
So it has to grow into a sense of people also developing and growing with the idea. Some people gonna stay on, some people gonna fall off, and then that's where the idea then develops into a more focused idea as well too. So we're just like now it's just me back focused on what the mission is. The mission is to create opportunity and create a space for more resources and creativeness. And that's
Mm,
where it's like the brand allows us to do it all in different markets and different opportunities to tell different stories. So whether that's from a swimmer, designer, painter, somebody that designs cars, whether they, you know, teaching the young ones, whatever it may be. What is your story that, you know, we can share under the brand and being able to put out there in good fashion?
Bam. What's your mission?
What's
What
my
you
mission?
here for?
Huh?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm just reciting back. It's like, yeah, what's your mission? Like, yeah, asking no questions. You know, what were you brought here to do? And you know, what are you doing?
Yeah. Because it's like shit. Some of these brands is made to, you know, make sure you ain't doing what you supposed to be doing. So it's like this definitely ain't the brand for that. So it's like this one of the brands that hey, you gonna be doing what you say you wanted to do. If you wanted to say you
Yes.
want to do photos, you say you want to make music. Well, hey, look, we can help you get there. This is something that you don't like. Hey, in the future, hey, let it be known that this. Hey, I want to try something new. Can you help me with that too? Shit, yeah, let's get it. You know, but it's just the whole, you know, idea. Some people just rather give up on themselves than the next experience to get them to a better
Yeah.
point of learning and understanding themselves. And that's where I've seen it too. It's just like, yo, this is hey, and also, you know, influence is sometimes people say, hey, this is what I
Mm-hmm.
want to do because you're doing it, but then it turns out this is something that they don't really want to do. They're only doing it because maybe they thinking this is what maintains a relationship for them, but I don't think that's it because I'm just letting them know, like, yeah, for sure, this is what I'm doing. I'm not lying to you.
Yep.
I've been lying to you since the last 10 years that this is what I wanted to do. So it's like, why would I start now, you know, lying? And my whole thing was, too, is it's like, hey, let's get to telling the truth as we grow. There ain't no way we should be holding back this and that. This should be knowing more, and everything should be spoken up, straight up.
Yes.
This is what it is, this is what it's not. Hey, I fuck with this, I don't fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you going to have to leave. Hey, they can't do this, you can't do that. We're going to have to go our separate ways, and let's keep it working. You know, if patience or, you know, time brings us back together and cross paths, maybe we could try it out again. Other than that, let's keep working. And you keep working on yourself. I keep working on myself, and nobody loses.
Growth and elevation, y'all.
Yeah.
All right. Got two more questions for you, and then we out of here. And I want to make sure again you plug your stuff.
Yeah.
But before I do that, I want to stop and actually give you your flowers for not only allowing yourself to come on here and being able to be interviewed and just taking of your time. So I just want to thank you very much, my brother. And,
Thank you too,
you
bro.
know, all the work that you've put in, man. I know I've been like, we've been in and out of touch when the years have come. But again, I've admired the work that I've seen that you have done, as well as just the intentionality behind, again, wanting to be better
Yeah.
holistically. So here's to you, brother, to you, my
Thank
brother.
you. Appreciate that, bro. You too, man. Because I've been, you know, I seen your YouTube a couple months ago, even years ago. I'm like, man, he on it. I like what he doing over there. One
Yeah.
day we gonna get something going for sure. So and
Okay.
it's like, you know, get it started right here. And I think like shit, right from here, we just don't stop. And let's just, you know, keep in contact and let's see what we can get going in the future. Whether that's connecting other artists, getting in the studio, something. But I think we got something figured out already.
Yes, yes. And shouts out to you on Project 43 LAA. Just hit me in the DMs and we'll tap in. We'll tap in. All right. Now, second to last question. Since we've been talking about not only the manifestation, but the building and again the continued keeping that work on the line happening, what are your thoughts on realizing dreams and dedication when it comes to your business as well as your life in whole? So realizing your dreams and dedication, what are your thoughts on those?
Okay, so on that, realizing my dreams, I realized that it comes with the intention. You have to align yourself with the intention, the action, and then you know you got to speak that shit too. You got to speak it. You got to have intentional within yourself without speaking it. Like you have to be the intention has to be in your head. Like yes, repeating yourself. This is what you want to do. You know, this is what. And then you telling people, hey, this is what, but not necessarily everything that's about to happen, but you tell them, hey, this is what I'm on. You speak it. You speak
Yes.
it into to the ether to make it real. You know, so that way it comes back to you. And that's where it's just like simultaneously, um, that's work for me, and really just putting in the work and asking questions, speaking it, and that's asking the questions. You know, like, oh, what is this? What is that? Oh yeah, let's do that. You know how to do that? Oh yeah, come on, let's go over here and now teach you something else. And it's just like me asking questions. And my process that works for me is ask questions, do the work, and align the attention with it. And it seems
Mm,
to, it seems to work for me, So that's where it's like, hey, realizing the brand that, hey, I had to go sell the PlayStation. I had to quit, playing around. Go get a screen printer, learn a new skill, and then apply that new skill into, what I invested into it.
yes.
My good time. My good time used to be playing the game. So now, this good time is, hey, figuring out and learning this screen printing. So that way I can screen print good enough to be able to sell something off the prints. So it's like, and then it works. And then it's like, okay, well, shit, you got the shirt now. Well, how you gonna market it? Oh, let me see if I get a photographer. Oh, you charging $250. I don't got $250. I traded this PlayStation for this printer, so I'm broke. I need to go and sell a couple of these shirts that I printed, and then go get me a camera off of Craigslist. I can't pay this
Mm,
dude. Well, I pay this dude where I could buy one for the same price and keep shooting my stuff, and then also learn photography, which allowed me then to ask more questions. So then it opened just the timeline or web of just what could possibly happen during those, conversations or hundreds of conversations.
yeah.
And it opens up different opportunities on what I was able to go on this path, where there's that path to learn, and then come back to something that already existed. Like, yeah, the brand exists. The idea. It's not, oh, the idea changed because I want to go learn surfing. It's a surf brand. No, this is what I'm on today. Shit. And then that's where it's just like, this is essentially, it's a university for myself to be able to study.
Yeah. Wow.
And just a different scope of different industries and things like that without having to, yeah, I ain't talking to nobody. So it's like, shit. So it's all, it's free, it's not free knowledge because I have to work, but it's just like, it's free at the cost that I got everything I want, and
Yeah.
myself, I still got myself intact for the knowledge that niggas would sacrifice himself for. So it's like, shit,
Yep.
not me. I'd rather do the work. You ain't about to get me. Shit, I know.
I hear that, man. But again, that's just a testament to your character as well, too. And not everybody's, again, willing to shape and mold that character through the hard times, or just even through times when you have to in your words is really, you're still stepping up, but you are recalibrating through different
Yeah,
means. There's always work being done, whether if it's internal, external, or physically.
yeah,
Work is
facts.
always being done.
That part. Always doing the work.
Yes. And speaking of the work and putting it out and finishing it off, shouts out to my homegirl again, Busy Balboa, and this is how I like to end with this type of question. She used to have it where it was passions over the pesos, but for me, I went back to a very simplistic, as well as is always going to be something that's always asked throughout society. I feel like this is a longevity question, but
Yeah,
it's very short. So when it comes to, again, your motivations, your passions, your pursuits in life, whether home, friends, community, work, keeping the work
yeah.
going, is it the quality or is it the quantity?
Quality or quantity?
Yes.
I would say at a certain point, it was quantity. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Because it's also it's throwing it's information conversation at the same time, and also to see what is actually happening in the cycle or pattern enough to be able to generate patterns and numbers. Because if not, then you can't see what is happening.
yeah.
So it was a quantity, and now it's quality. Once you understand that you did the quantity, you got the numbers from that. Now you go get the quality. So it's like that was my process. Was, yeah, I need to do the numbers on, see what actually works. And that's where it's like, well, you got to test. You got to do a whole bunch of tests. There's a whole bunch of failing too. That's what people don't realize, that, yeah, you fail at some tests, you do good, but it's to keep working at it, so that way you take all of that data and apply it to
Yes.
the next. And if you're only going to expect to do this shit for a certain amount of time or a little bit of time, then that's why that wouldn't apply to
Mm,
you, because you're not in it for the long term. You in it for the short term, and you're just trying to get paid. Now they can pay you today, but do you know? That's the difference. So it's just like, regardless of the fact, paid or not paid, I'd rather know.
yes. Bam. So it is a mixture of both. For you to really fully understand the quality of something, you must at least accrue a quantity. And then there's always going to be an intermix and play of both.
Just like this, if you only have one, well, how would you know that that's quality versus not? If you only have one, and that's where it's just like you haven't compared it to nothing.
Yes.
What are your comparisons? And it's just like that's where it's like either it's the quality is there, but then you have amass a certain amount of knowledge to just be able to say that that's quality off rip. Now, if you're in the process of learning, I mean, shit, you got to, build your own numbers, your own perspective research on just like, how does this apply to you? Because there's some people that just study. And then, like I said, they don't study the other parts of their, life or what life's got to bring with us, relationships, emotions, finances, just other stuff of just how people operate. It's not just one-sided. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like we could just focus on one thing and you can be good at that, but shit, then you might not know nothing else.
Yes.
I'd rather not just focus on one thing. Like, shit, no. I like it all. I like to try everything to where I can study and ask different questions in different, industries and things like that. Because if not, then the questions get, repetitive. At some point, they get repetitive, and it's just like, we got to do something else. We got to talk about something else. We got to open up a new book or something.
Yes.
Somebody got to bring some new thought up in this thing.
Man. And quickly, and I'm gonna let you, I want you to wrap out on this, which thank you for sharing that, my G, is you brought up something about, again, I think of, the jack of all trades, and how the quote says, it says, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. So as you were talking about earlier, we're just like, you're only focusing on that one thing, but then after that, that's all you got.
Yeah.
So learning to dibble and dabble into things, gives you a more well-rounded perspective, as well as it gives you more information to answer these questions that you are seeking and looking for.
Yeah. And just perspectives that come up, like, and it allows you to, take whether you see it as a regular situation or something that is out of the ordinary, allows you to sit back and look from the outside in and just be like, how does this look from just being a normal person, not me personally, but my emotions involved in it with this dude or this girl? How would that look on the outside? And that's where it's like, you got to have that perspective too. Sometimes it jump out like, oh, how does this look? Okay. Yeah, this may not be it. This may, maybe you overreacting this, or y'all should just, hey, call it quits and this not going to work. But I think just to step outside of your shoes and have empathy for other people as well too, placing yourself in other people's shoes and looking at it. If not, then it's just like you have one view, and that's why a lot of people are just like, they so damn brainwashed to do stupid shit, like, they ain't got enough perspective, or just somebody that sat down with them and gave them a different perspective that gave them also, like physical answers with that perspective or materialization of that perspective. Because some people are so locked in that they can't, even if you told them the answer, they couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
And they couldn't see it because of just their thought process.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is too. Some people are just locked in, and it's just like, you can't, everybody got to say themselves. You can help people, give them advice and shit, but when they come down, they got to really do that inner work in themselves. And that's what I realized too. It's like I said, going back in the past, you ain't going to say nobody. Everybody's entitled to say themselves. You just got to keep moving forward, and those decisions that stood, got to stand. That's just what it is. If you ever get in a position where you got the power to go back in the past, don't do it.
Oof. Again, y'all, growth.
And the plug,
and keep going. Please plug us.
So, man,
any last thoughts, words, to share off with the people?
Y'all need some work. Y'all know where to hit me at first. G93.work. You got all the new latest videos. Got the latest content, merchandise packages for artists. Anybody that needs samples for their brands. Also got the NFC tab cards by Net Positive. We doing websites as well too. If you need full websites with content and video, we got those as well too. Full web services. You need management for the month, got that too. But you know what I'm saying? That's going to come with a budget. So as well, And we're gonna be having Taco Tuesdays. We're gonna start having more events in the next couple of weeks and things like that. So y'all make sure y'all stay in tune for that. Follow up, get the updates on that. And man, shout out to my boy Cletus. He just dropped the Hidden Agenda tape. We all put our hard work into that. We made a team project come real, dropping a video from every song. Shout out Super Q, Mad Max in the Trap. Luzine, Culture Records. You need some recorded time. We got it all. Come get some work in. And so we can keep you working for yourself.
Of course.
And on yourself. Help me, help you, help us.
All about relationships and building those relationships. Relationship with yourself, be able to help relationships with others, then have a full relationship with it worldwide. Again, worldwide.
That part. Worldwide, baby.
Man. But with that, y'all, again, thank you so much, G. I appreciate you coming through, my brother, and again, sharing the memoirs, sharing your experiences, and being able to, again, share your light with other people so that they can build, connect,
you got me back,
and do all that
in
you
the groove, thing.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But with that being said, y'all, if y'all want to, again, reach out with the brother, please do. Go follow. If you're also on YouTube, other different places, man, just go check out the page, man. See what it's worth. So invest in yourself so that you can end up investing in your own future, which then ends up creating a future for a lot of us all together. So just build, network, and keep working.
All
With
right,
that
man.
being said, y'all, peace and love, y'all.
Screenshot real quick.
Oh,
real quick.
For sure.
Yep. Hold on. Got it.
Boom. With that being said, y'all, thank y'all for coming through for another installment of More Interviews, aka Memoirs of Our Real Experiences. We'll catch y'all for another one, which is actually coming up on Sunday, but y'all come out and y'all figure out and see. But otherwise, thank y'all for coming through and continue to write your own memoirs and experiences so that you can keep growing, keep doing the work, and keep sharing your life. But other than that,
I like that.
peace and love, y'all. We catch y'all next time.
Yep,
Peace.
good topic.